Welcome to the shadows of forbidden magic. In today's video, we uncover the haunting tale of Witchfire, the cursed Grimoire, a dark fantasy where ancient sorcery, cursed bloodlines, and a forbidden book collide. Follow the journey of a reluctant witch forced to awaken powers long buried, as the Grimoire whispers secrets that could doom or save her soul. Prepare for twisted spells, vengeful spirits, and a legacy drenched in fire and fate. If you crave supernatural mystery and dark enchantments, you won't want to miss this. Light your candle, open your mind, and step into the flame. Let the Witchfire burn. Witchfire. The Cursed Grimoire is a dark fantasy narrative infused with supernatural horror, forbidden magic, and the tragic allure of power. It explores the journey of a forsaken witch who stumbles upon a legendary book, an ancient grimoire said to be written by the first witch herself. The tale unravels through a realm haunted by spectral forces, political witch hunts, and cursed bloodlines. At its heart, it is a story about temptation, legacy, and the irreversible cost of wielding unholy power. Part 1. The World of Black Hollow. The story is set in Black Hollow, a land where the veil between the living and the dead has thinned due to centuries of unchecked sorcery. Centuries ago, witches ruled the Hollow, keeping balance through rituals and arcane laws. However, a cataclysm, known as the Night of Crimson Ash, shattered their dominion, turning the Hollow into a cursed territory riddled with haunted ruins, demon-possessed forests, and ghost-ridden towns. Magic in Black Hollow is outlawed. The Inquisitorial Church, led by the iron-fisted Cardinal Lucerne, hunts witches with brutal efficiency. Public burnings, iron masks, and soul branding are common punishments. Yet, amid this tyranny, whispers persist of the cursed grimoire, a sentient tome containing the soul of Verelda, the first witch and original bearer of Witchfire. Part 2. The protagonist, Elira Moore. Elira Moore is a descendant of witches who hides in the outskirts of Black Hollow under the guise of a herb gatherer. Haunted by visions, Elira is drawn to forgotten ruins that hum with the echoes of a once thriving coven. As a child, she witnessed her mother burned alive for witchcraft, and the memory fuels both her hatred for the church and her fear of her heritage. Despite her best efforts to remain hidden, she discovers that Witchfire, the raw elemental magic passed through her bloodline, has awakened. Her emotions ignite fires during her nightmares. Shadows bend toward her will. Animals follow her in unnatural obedience. The signs are clear. The cursed grimoire is calling her. One fateful night, in a vision guided by a spectral raven, Elira is led to the ruins of Ebonspire Abbey, the last known location of the grimoire. Part 3. The Cursed Grimoire. The cursed grimoire, bound in abyssal leather and chained with runes of bone, is not merely a book. It breathes, it sees, it waits. Created by Verelda before her execution, it serves as both a prison and a vessel. The book holds forbidden spells capable of tearing through time, summoning the dead, and rewriting fate itself. Yet, every page comes at a cost. The more Elira reads, the more her soul becomes entwined with Verelda's. The moment Elira touches it, a brand sears into her palm. Let flame be your truth. Verelda's spirit awakens inside her mind, whispering temptation and secrets long buried. Through the grimoire, Elira learns the origin of Witchfire, an ancient flame birthed from the world wound, a tear between dimensions opened during a celestial war. Part 4. Transformation and Corruption. Elira begins her descent into power. She revives forgotten spells, communes with ghosts, and reanimates protective spirits to shield her from inquisitors. Her appearance changes. Eyes glowing like embers, hair darkening into ash-blonde wisps, skin inscribed with fiery runes when angered. The more she uses the Witchfire, the more human emotion she loses. Love turns to obsession, sorrow to wrath. Verelda continues to feed off Elira's growing dependence, guiding her to recover the 13 rites, spells capable of rewriting the future and summoning the Black Flame, a demonic entity bound to the will of the grimoire's true master. But Verelda's true aim is to be reborn through Elira, using her body as a vessel. Meanwhile, a secret faction called the Ashbourne Circle, a rogue coven of excommunicated witches, learns of Alira's awakening and seeks to either aid her rise or destroy her before Virelda fully possesses her. Part 5. The Inquisition and the Witch Hunts. Cardinal Lucerne, a man haunted by prophecy and bound to his own holy relic, a corrupted chalice called the Blood of Saints, sees Alira as the embodiment of the Witch Queen's return. The Church intensifies its purge, invoking ancient sacrificial rites to summon witch-killing archangels, known as the Pale Seraphs. Alira, now hunted across Black Hollow, begins to fight back. She raids Inquisitor strongholds, liberates imprisoned witches, and resurrects forgotten wards that defend sanctuaries from divine wrath. Yet every victory costs more of her soul. The Grimoire demands blood, feeds on suffering. During a climactic ambush, Alira calls upon the Eighth Rite, the Rain of Cinders, obliterating an entire church garrison but losing control of her body for several minutes. Virelda briefly takes over, slaughtering indiscriminately, including innocent villagers. The Ashbourne warn her, use the final rites, and you lose yourself entirely. Part 6. The Choice of Fire. Everything builds to the final conflict. A siege on the Sanctuary of Iron Light, the Church's last bastion, where the blood of saints is kept. Virelda reveals her plan, to fuse the grimoire with the chalice and open the world wound once more, allowing her full return and the rebirth of the ancient coven. Alira stands at a crossroads. She can give in to Virelda, allowing the Witch Queen to return in her full form. Black Hollow will fall, but witches will rise again, freed from church tyranny. Destroy the grimoire, sacrificing herself and ending the lineage of Witchfire forever, at the cost of magical extinction. Rewrite the rites, using the final spell to create a third path, one where magic is reborn without Virelda's influence but at a great unknown price. Alira chooses the third. In a spell that burns the skies red and silences even the seraphs, she rewrites the fabric of reality. Virelda is cast into the void. The church collapses under its own hubris. Magic survives, scattered and subtle, no longer chained to bloodlines or death. Alira disappears, her fate unknown. Some say she wanders the world, ageless, guarding against the return of darker forces. Themes and symbolism. 1. Power and corruption. The story illustrates how even the noblest intentions can be tainted by power. Alira's descent is not unlike the very church she fights. Both seek control, both lose their humanity in pursuit of righteousness. 2. Legacy and identity. Alira's struggle is one of inheritance. She must decide whether she is bound by her bloodline or capable of defining her own destiny. 3. Duality. The grimoire and the chalice, Alira and Virelda, fire and light, all exist in mirrored pairs. The story thrives on contrasts, showing how light can corrupt and darkness can liberate. 4. Redemption versus vengeance. Much of Alira's arc hinges on whether she acts out of revenge for her mother or redemption for her kind. The lines blur, and her final choice is the only act that transcends both. World-building elements. Witchfire, a magical flame drawn from another dimension, volatile and linked to emotional energy. It's the purest form of destructive creation magic, only accessible to descendants of the first witch. The 13 rites, legendary spells, each representing a different form of transformation or elemental dominion. Blood, ash, flame, void, spirit, etc. Pale Seraphs, once angels turned fanatical witch hunters, cloaked in bone and wielding blessed obsidian swords. Ashbourne Circle, outcasts who study necromancy, bonecraft, and protective sigils. They walk the line between heresy and heroism. The Blood of Saints, a divine relic corrupted by centuries of use. It grants the Inquisition prophetic visions and partial immortality, but at the cost of sanctity. Witchfire, the cursed grimoire, is a dark, introspective tale of power, legacy, and self-determination. It portrays a morally gray world where good and evil are determined not by allegiance, but by intention and consequence. Alira's journey is both personal and epic, a transformation not just of one witch, but of magic itself. By the end, readers are left with a world reborn. But at what cost? The grimoire may be gone, but the echoes of Witchfire still linger, waiting for the next soul to find the flame. Thanks for diving into the shadows with us in Witchfire, the cursed grimoire. If the whispers of dark magic and the chilling fate of the cursed grimoire left you spellbound, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more tales steeped in sorcery and mystery. Share your thoughts below. What would you do if the book chose you? Hit the bell icon so you never miss the next dark chapter. Until then, keep your ward strong, your fire burning, and beware the power that calls from the pages. This story may end, but the